We're live!
We're live. Right. Hello everyone, I'm Dan.
I'm El.
And this is back to two blokes having a chat.
Yeah, we've lost Alan in... he's
got
injured.
the plague or something.
Yeah, he's not very well at the moment, so unfortunately he's not with us. But hopefully he will be returning for our next video, which will probably be some sort of pre-E3 kind of thing.
Yeah, no, we're getting pretty close now. We're about 4 weeks out.
Yeah, 4 weeks away, so we can talk a little bit more about our predictions and things then.
Yep.
As you can see, the game we're playing today is Super Metroid, one of my personal favourites.
I think a lot of people's personal favourites.
Yeah.
Well, I must admit it's been a while since I played this one, so I'm getting my excuses ready.
Yeah, there's no problem. We're playing on the Wii U, with the Wii U gamepad, the Wii U Pro controller rather, which I love. So this is going to be a nice,
that thing has like
game.
Infinite battery life. It's ridiculous.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I think I've charged it once in like the last year.
I've charged mine twice. I got my Wii U at Christmas, and we're in May now, so... And it is my controller of choice, so... Yep, that's kind of cool. If you don't know about this game, you've been living under a rock. It's just... This game was the one that coined the Metroid in Metroidvania. It's the kind of platform game where you need to go around and get upgrades rather than go linear fashion through a bunch of levels. So we're currently on a planet looking for a small baby alien that's been abducted from us by a dragon flying type creature called Ridley. And I'll just keep it as simple as that for now.
Yeah. So you got the first item.
Got the morph ball. So now we can get into quite small spaces and corridors and things. And what we need now is some missiles we're going to bury down here.
So when was the last time we played this one then?
I actually tried it. I played it a little bit this week actually. Just when I had one of those evenings where I was just casually playing through games I know well, and I was just playing a little bit of each and
killing a bit of time.
Yeah, and this one came up. The last time I played it properly and completed it, probably when I got it for Wii U. So it would have been. No, it wasn't Christmas I got it. It was my birthday last year. So yeah, it would have been. I would have got this one really early on as well. So probably about a year ago now.
Can you imagine if that's how doors were actually opened in real life?
Well, by shooting them?
Yeah.
With 5 rockets?
With rockets and bombs and bullets.
No shortage of rockets in this. Well, we just probably wouldn't bother with doors.
No. That's a very good point.
Let's get these missiles. Because we are going to get into a few fights with a few nasties, so we're going to need some weapons. Once you've got 5 missiles, you can get through doors, but if you want to do well at bosses, you need a good supply of missiles, super missiles. I was going to say power bombs, but I don't think they really help you that much during bosses. So yeah, that's what we're playing today.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we're in a new location. We're in Dan's game room.
Yes. Looking a bit bare from this perspective, but trust me, there are games there and games over there.
There's a lot of games around. I'm next to almost a complete PAL N64 collection.
Wow,
and,
about halfway there.
About halfway there. It's still pretty impressive looking. And yeah, this camera is actually balanced over about 10 different consoles, 10, 12.
Something like that. I mean, we got a NES, SNES, Dreamcast, N64.
Wiring them all up to the capture card might be a bit difficult. Just probably better sticking to modern consoles and just playing.
I'm not sure how we'll get things like the NES or the Saturn working, but we'll see. We'll get there.
Well, luckily we've got plenty to play. An exhaustible supply of games to be getting on with, so...
And speaking of games, obviously apart from Metroid, what else have you played this week?
This week, I've been playing loads of stuff. I finally completed all the levels in the Doom Complete collection, which was hard. It was so painful towards the end. I didn't realise. I played all the episodes, and I thought I was doing all right, and then I got to one called the Platonia Experiment, which was a 30-level episode.
Oh dear.
My God, that was so hard. It was
a lot of fun though.
Mercilessly hard. I've learned you can have too much of a good thing, because by the end of it I was just like, I want this game to finish. But
bit doomed out.
Yeah, but I finally got all the trophies on it, which I'm really pleased with. Then I went back to Axiom Verge on the PS4, and I was really struggling to get back into it once I'd had a break from it. which is a shame because I really, really like it, but I just find I get lost a lot in it. So
that's the trouble with these sorts of Metroidvania style games. You need to sort of keep at it, otherwise you have a good.
If you have
week
a break,
or two break, you forget where everything is.
It's quite easy to get lost as far as the map's concerned. Yeah, and I think Axiom Verge is probably a bigger offender at it. It's not quite as obvious to know what's an opportunity and what isn't because of the backgrounds and foregrounds blend a little bit. It's not a bad thing, but and it is a huge map as well.
But it's one of those games that was purely made by one guy.
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah,
it's quite impressive.
In fact, I know for a fact it was because there's only one name on the credits. So, but don't get me wrong, it's an amazing game. I just think I need to start it from the beginning or something. But I played that night. I played this. I put a little bit of Bioshock Infinite on, and I'm convinced I'm going to go back to that next because I really want to get more into the story. I made a really big mistake. I should have gone back and got some more missiles. I could have made very light work of this, but I was talking and not concentrating. What have you been playing at the moment, mate?
Been playing a few things actually. Started on what's it called, Mass Effect.
Cool.
I've actually got the trilogy on the 360, which I've been meaning to play for. I mean, I've had that for about a year and a half. I've not got around to playing it yet, so I thought, right, no, this week I'm going to put the first one on, make a start. And then I've also got back into Destiny this week as well.
Alright, yeah.
Got it when it came out, played it for a bit, sort of fell off the landscape a little bit, playing other things. But then, I don't know, this week I just put it back in and yeah, I seem to have got back into it.
Well, I watched you playing a little bit last night, just online and doing a few, would you call them missions? You were doing a few bounties and things, weren't you?
That's right, so hunting down a few bounties, doing a few public events, just trying to get back into the swing of things.
And it looked pretty cool. I was impressed with those Star Wars style bikes and things. You can get really quick around the map. And
every time I go in, you can't help but go diddle. But so yeah, well, you've not seen Destiny before. I mean, obviously you've heard of it, but you've not actually seen anyone.
I hadn't seen it being played, not in combat like that. And it looks alright. It looks pretty good.
It's different. I mean, obviously people who play the previous Halo games are probably expecting something.
Was it by the makers of Halo? Or?
That's right, yeah.
Oh, right, cool.
But it was very different, where obviously Halo was quite linear, go from point A, go to point B, kill things in between, and that was kind of it. But with this, they've kind of gone for an MMO, RPG, first-person shooter, sort of mixed mash of different genres into one.
I'd really like to get into an MMO. I've never played one before.
Well, I mean, I think we were saying this earlier on. I think obviously where I've never played them either, and then we're watching this show called Video Game Nation where they were talking about Leagues of Legends.
Yeah.
Or League of Legends, and again that's a sort of like an MMO style RPG-ish type thing that's based online, free to play. So I suppose there's no real reason really not to play it, except for the fact that you don't have a decent PC to play it on.
I keep on saying I'll get around to it one day. I want to. There's a lot of PC games I'd like to play. I'm just going to get to a save point, mate. Do you want to take over for a bit?
Yeah, why not?
Cool. Is it this one or the next one? The next one.
I say, if you can't remember where anything is or what we're doing next, then it's going to be a very long video.
I don't anticipate getting very far. This is quite a big game.
So anyway, obviously we've got some news that needs to be discussed from the following week.
Yeah, let's discuss some topics, because it's been a couple of weeks since we've done a vid, so...
Yep, so...
do you want to fire away with the first one?
I think the first thing that we were going to discuss was Konami and Hideo Kojima.
Well, Konami's going to be very, as far as news is concerned...
Very hot
heavy in the centre of a lot of spotlight, a lot of controversy, and it's all sort of gone to pot, really, isn't it? I mean, it's not just Kojima, it's
a strange one, because I mean, from what we've heard is basically they're going mobile games,
which is exactly what Sega said they were going to do. So,
but was there any hint that Konami were in any sort of financial trouble, or is this the management have gone right? That seems to be the way forward. Let's do that.
I don't know.
What's your take on that?
As far as the business side of things are concerned, I don't know. I know there's. I was going to say that they've been struggling to release games that people want, sort of the franchises people want, but that's not even Konami. That's been Capcom that's been doing that. Konami have been releasing some Castlevania in the form of Lords of Shadows.
Which is a pretty good game. I played that on the 3DS a while back.
They released some Contra in the style of Hardcore Uprising out on the PS3 and 360, which was well received. So they had a bunch of Castlevania DS games. So
yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know this is things that have been within the last few years rather than the last few months or anything. But it's the gaming industry. You don't release new games every 5 minutes, and this is Konami. This is the powerhouse that brought us. Alright, let's just list off some of the Konami franchises. So, Castlevania and Contra I've mentioned, Rocket Knight Adventures, Metal Gear, Silent Hill.
And even some of the less like known ones, Pro Evolution Soccer, which have been pretty decent.
Yeah, how does a company with so many of these franchises at their disposal? I mean, yeah, they're a game company; they can make something new, but they've got so much to fall back on as well. Do you want to take over for a bit, mate?
Cheers.
What makes you? What's the appeal of going into the mobile market? I mean, Sega I can understand. I mean, Sega had problems. Sega were releasing a game, you know.
You're gonna have to remind me what you've done for how to get the rockets back up again.
Oh, select, mate.
Select.
Yeah, and if you want to get rid of them, press the A trigger.
Told you it's been a while since I played this.
Nah, it's all good. So, Sega's point of view, they released Sonic games. They're releasing a game that was designed for 2D, in 3D, and they were getting more misses than hits. But because it was their biggest franchise, that was the one that they always banked on.
Yeah.
And they slowly slipped away into decline. They became a bit of a joke. And they just were in a position where they've gone to the mobile market because they could create things like Sonic Dash and bits and pieces like that. So, them you can understand, but is it really that lucrative? I mean, don't get me wrong. There's money in it with microtransactions and things, but it's a saturated market. There's so many people that are just making mobile games like, you know, indies from home and things. There's so much competition. Why would you choose? And you've gone back to technical limitations. Phones aren't as powerful as PCs. Phones aren't as powerful as home consoles. What are they trying to? I can't believe that there's that much money in it that they would just up and leave these markets, these console markets and PC markets.
Well, again, this goes back to my question of were they in any sort of trouble, or
even if they were in financial trouble, why just decide we're going to up and leave out of it? It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. So it's a strange one. It really, I'm a bit lost here.
You've got a power up already, mate. So you just come out of here. Let's make some progress. Let's go. Or go into the opposite room so we can remember what's in it. I think it's the map. And you want to go bottom right when you want to make some progress across the map and stuff. Now, I've not played a great deal of Metal Gear. You like Metal Gear, don't you, mate?
Yes.
Cool. What are your memories of Metal Gear? Do you want me to...
They were very good games. I mean, it's kind of almost like playing an interactive movie. I mean, for anyone who despises cutscenes, they're probably not going to be too keen on the games.
It doesn't sound like my thing.
Cutscene heavy, but the gameplay's pretty good. Very espionage-y, so you know you get the option of either having to try and hide and be stealthy, or sort of just going running, guns blazing. And I mean, the first one was on the PlayStation 1, and that was 2 discs, I believe. So it was a very big game for its time.
But that would have predominantly been down to a lot of cutscenes and stuff.
Again, that probably didn't help with the case. But
what was the gameplay like? If it was cutscene heavy, was it third person, first person?
It was predominantly third person.
Right. Okay.
And again, I see you had the option basically of either trying to be sneaky and hiding yourself in boxes and barrels, or like I say, just going in one's gunning blazing. And
my only experience of Metal Gear really is it Saints Row 4 where you actually get a run around in a box and stuff? Do you remember that?
Yes,
cool.
Yes. So they're kind of vaguely similar, very loosely.
Yeah.
But so it'd be interesting what happens with Konami going forward now that he's gone, and once they release Metal Gear 5.
But he's not the only member of staff they've lost, because I can't remember the name of the gentleman, but the guy that was in charge of the Castlevanias has now announced that he's making the spiritual successor, a game called Bloodstained, which got crowdfunded $500,000 within 4 hours or something ridiculously, well, I was going to say ridiculously stupid. It's ridiculously amazing.
Well, it
goes to prove how much in demand it was.
Well, I was going to say this is indicative of the issue of developers at the moment, where they're sitting on these franchises, Castlevanias, your Mega Mans, your Banjo-Kazooies, and so on. Yeah,
and now what we're seeing is we're seeing the actual teams that made these games originally are getting huge success on Kickstarter.
Exactly, and it shows that there is an appetite for them. So why don't they see it?
Well, the best example of this has been Yooka-Laylee, Banjo-Kazooie, because Microsoft have been sitting on Banjo-Kazooie since, when did they take Rare over? It's been hasn't it been nearly a decade or something stupid that they've been sitting on that?
Well, you had Banjo's Nuts and Bolts, but
yeah, but that wasn't Banjo-Kazooie.
No, it wasn't. I mean, the game itself was good.
That could have been any brand whatsoever.
Exactly. So, I mean, they took over, I think it was the early noughties, 2001, 2, sometime around
So
then.
we're talking about a good 10 years.
Yeah.
And they didn't think that they had that franchise, it might have been worth making at least one game in that time?
Well, I mean, you can sit here and argue about what the hell Microsoft did to Rare in the first place anyway, bastardising them and making them just Kinect-only developers for several years.
Yeah, but think about it. They're meant to be doing research. They're meant to be doing market research. They're meant to have some sort of idea of what fans want.
Yeah.
If they'd have known...
Well, not even fans, just gamers in general.
If they'd have known up front that the spiritual successor made by the original team, a game that is basically just a reskin of the original Banjo-Kazooie, or, that theme, would have got crowdfunded that quickly by so many people in such a short space of time, and people are so excited... You're meant to know that. You're in no business being in this business if you didn't know that. It's asinine. It's just crazy. I don't usually get riled up, but how do you make such a big mistake? Sitting on, you've got an intellectual property. You've got the ability. You've got one of the biggest gaming companies. You own, one of the most successful consoles in the market at the moment. And this game got crowdfunded.
In a few hours.
I mean, that's the thing. These people have not made a game yet. It's crowdfunded. It's been... Investment has come from the public up front. They've not even sold a single unit of the game yet. The game hasn't been made yet. And people are really, really excited about it.
And that's actually a good point to touch on, because it's been a while since I've actually been really psyched about a game. And then once I saw footage of Yooka-Laylee and... Well,
you've been I can say firsthand, you've messaged me a few times about, and what have you been shown so far? Realistically, you've been shown a little bit of...
maybe a few minutes of footage?
A little bit of beta footage. And I've not seen you this excited about a game in ages, you know what I mean? So,
exactly, I mean, and that probably shows the issue of the games industry at the moment. I mean, don't get me wrong, normally Nintendo are releasing pretty decent games.
Yeah.
But the Wii U and the situation that's in, it was sort of a different issue anyway. But it's just there hasn't been anything out there that's really got me interested in a long time. And again, they should use these instances of these games coming out on Kickstarter to sort of wake up and realise these are what people want. If Capcom released a Mega Man, their financial issues would be sorted.
They're losing out. I mean, they had 3 Mega Man games in production at different points in time before... I've forgotten the name of the gentleman. I'll kick myself later.
I know he's got, yeah.
The Mega Man granddaddy, the guy behind it, who's making Mighty No. 9 at the moment. Before he left and worked on Mighty No. 9, there were 3 different Mega Man games that Capcom canned.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in these instances, just to know what is going on in their minds.
I mean, I can understand you if you think a product or a prototype isn't good enough, and you think, no, we really want to do this franchise justice, so we'll can this one because we know we can do better. That's fine, but you didn't do better. You just kept on cancelling.
Canned it, and that was it.
We're going to start seeing a trend now of people that used to work on games in the 90s and the 80s coming forward at Kickstarter to produce reskins of games that companies have been sitting on for a long time. I mean, this has happened 3 times now. There's been Mighty No. 9, Bloodstained, and Yooka-Laylee. Is this just the start of a major rebirth?
Possibly. Time will tell, it's... but it's... It's going to go one way or the other. You know, are these developers going to fall by the wayside one by one, or like I say, are they going to eventually realise that what they need to do is pull their finger out and just start releasing the games that they're
something with
sitting
these
on?
properties? Yeah, it's a funny old world.
But anyway,
should we move on to another topic?
Yes. So the next one, E3 prep and Nintendo's sort of, what would you call it, like teaser video on what's going to be happening at E3.
Yeah, they've done a little bit of a trailer talking about what Nintendo are bringing. Treehouse is coming back.
Yep, no, I was thoroughly fond of that last year.
Yeah, it was good. But one of the really exciting things is they're bringing back a Nintendo World Championships.
Yes.
Which I've got to admit, didn't see that coming. That was a complete surprise.
I would not believe anyone out there who would say, yep, I bet money on that. It was going to happen.
Yeah.
There's no one out there that ever saw that coming.
There wasn't even an inkling, was there?
No. So the question is, though, is what games are going to be on that championship?
Well, we don't know how it's going to be structured, whether it's going to happen in rounds or whether it's going to be like it was before. You play a game which is a compilation of a little mini game. It's essentially what, for anyone who doesn't know what the original World Championship was, it's kind of like what NES Remix is today, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah. It's a good way of sort of explaining what that is.
So there was a small handful of games that you played a couple of minutes of each, and there was a point system.
Yep.
Now, if they were going by the same logic, I personally would like to see, because I know we watched a couple of YouTube videos of people giving some predictions of what they think it could be, and they were talking about having games from different generations, so it may be playing a little bit of Super Metroid will be involved in it or whatever. But I would like to see the formula as it was before, so you take games of that current generation, so there would be a little bit of new Super Mario Brothers and a little bit of Donkey Kong Tropic Freeze and a little bit of Bayonetta or something like that. So,
well, I was going to say the smart money would be to use games from the Wii U, because it would be a really good way of trying to promote the system and the software that's currently out there at the moment.
That's true. What about the 3DS? We could maybe see, you get into round 2 and you see a little bit of maybe a Pokemon battle just come up on the Wii U screen or something like that, or
possibly. I mean, the 3DS hasn't really struggled as much though as the Wii U, so
that's true. That's true.
It can go either way, to be honest. I mean, interestingly enough, I was saying earlier to you that what they could also do is put games on the championship that are actually currently in development that might be coming out that we don't know about yet.
So it will be a promotional event as well as a competition.
Exactly.
You play a little bit of Star Fox, maybe.
Maybe a bit of Star Fox. Let's say, for argument's sake, they're making an F-Zero game, so they could have a racetrack.
Yeah, something like that. And what the position you come in or the time you get will reflect your final score.
Exactly. So, I mean, there's so many different ways that they could do this. But I think the smart money would be keep it current gen, keep it Wii U, and just get the interest that little bit more.
Do you know how I would do it if I was put in charge of making this competition?
No doubt you're going to tell me.
Well, that's kind of the idea of these videos. So it's just sprung to me right now. What if you sat down to play the competition? There's people around you, and you go to round 1, and you play the original Super Mario Brothers on the NES, and you think, oh well, maybe this is a bunch of NES games just like the original World Championships. Then it gets to round 2, and it's a SNES game, and then you get to round 3, it's an N64 game, and they celebrate the library of the Nintendo, the console catalogue, as it were, by doing one from each generation, and I think that could work. That could be interesting.
It's, again, like I said, it can go so many different ways. Like at the moment, it's all just guesswork, really.
Yeah.
But
and people are wondering what the prices are going to be, and
I'm sure whatever they'll do, it'll be awesome. What would be even more better is if, sort of after the E3 event, if they make it available on the eShop.
Well, do you know that this was a point I was going to bring up, because they said that they're going to be doing this at E3 and also at Best Buy's, in some American stores. I thought what they should have done, they should have had an online-only competition. So there's a certain time where you've got to be logged on, and it'll stream the game. You get one attempt at it, and your score is registered, so they can have the person that scored the highest online, and that'll be a real world competition then. If anyone that owns the console can take part. I'd have a go.
So, what game would you like to see on there? If you could pick one game.
What, for the World Championship?
For the World Championship, yeah.
I really don't mind. I've got no preference really, because at the end of the day, it's a competition to find who is the best Nintendo gamer. So you got to have the obvious ones. I mean, I'd be disappointed if there wasn't any Mario in there, but there's going to be some. So that's no issue.
Yeah. I suppose the more obvious one would be something like maybe Smash Brothers, maybe a bit of Mario Kart.
I think Smash Brothers should be in there, but if you do Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, you're falling into the you're only using Mario games, and there's not much variety. I mean, the original one had a bit of Tetris and had a racing game in there, so they need a little bit of variety in there too. So I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on that one and just give our feedback afterwards.
So
yeah, only 4 weeks away. We'll definitely do an E3 warm-up video and talk about what we'd like to see out there.
Predictions and...
Well, everyone does it.
Well, that's it, exactly.
It's not just that everyone does it. It's an exciting time. If you're a gamer, it's an exciting time. So let's get ourselves up here.
I bet you lost track of where you are and what you're doing.
Well, do you know what? As I'm talking, I got a little bit lost myself, but I need to go this way. Which I don't think I can, because I need a super missile. Yeah, I'm going to have to go and kill some baddies. Oh, pardon me, I love this game. I love this genre of game as well.
Do you reckon there might be a Metroid this year?
Oh,
we keep hoping.
It's always a subject that comes up, yeah. Well, I was telling you in the car yesterday, I'd like to see 2. I'd like to see them do a...
It's not just satisfied with 1, it has to be 2.
Well, all I was thinking, the only reason I mentioned that was because the last time there was a big Metroid event. I mean, there's been Metroid games, since, but can you remember when Metroid Prime came out and they released Metroid Fusion? I don't know if it was the same day or it was the same month or whatever.
All around at the same time, yeah.
But the thing is, I miss these 2D style of Metroid games too. I love the 2D and the 3D. They're both really good. So make yourself a 2D game for the 3DS. Just a 2D platformer in the Metroid style. And do a 3D game on the Wii U.
Well, we were saying like a 2.5D version would be pretty good, so like in the style of Strider.
Yeah, with that nice, sleek, metallic HD finish.
Mm.
We've not seen any Metroid in HD. It'd be really nice to see it happen. I'd love to see Metroid Prime. Well, maybe not Metroid Prime, but just one of those types of games in HD. I think it would look... Because the original Metroid Prime looked beautiful anyway, so...
Well, it's certainly stood the test of time. I mean, if you turn it on nowadays, it still looks pretty decent.
It still looks good, and you don't get the same, resolution or frame rate even, but actually, I don't know, was it 60 FPS? It might have been, actually.
I think it was, actually, yeah, because the GameCube was around about the time when they started bringing it in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They had the option to... either play it in 50 or 60 hertz over here.
Well, yeah, it was 50 and 60 hertz, but I don't know how that reflects as far as the frame rate is concerned. But either way, it still looks stunning. Lovely soundtrack. It's just one of the most perfect first-person games as far as I'm concerned.
But it wasn't just a first-person shooter. It had all those like puzzle elements.
No. I mean, obviously,
it was quite refreshing.
It was in the style of a first-person shooter, but it had platforming elements and exploratory. I can't talk.
Exploration.
Yes, elements.
We had a few beers last night.
Yeah, it was great.
Brilliant stuff.
And we played Super Mario really badly as well.
Yeah, no, we played...
Super Mario All-Stars, wasn't it?
That's right, yes, we played Mario 2, the Japanese one.
Followed by Super Mario 2, the US one.
Yep, and we died several times in both of them.
Yeah, we got further on the US one though.
Yeah.
Which isn't surprising, really. Oh, damn. We're in big trouble here, I shouldn't have come in here.
Just getting your excuses ready before you die.
Oh no, it's not that. I've got no missiles and no health, so... My last rocket, I messed up. Oh, 1 point of health. No problem.
That's alright, you can do it.
Oh dear.
Ah, well, maybe not.
Bye, Samus.
Thank you all for watching. I think the next video we're going to release is... We have been working on a Doom one.
Yeah, we've been working on different bits and pieces, so we'll release videos when we get around to it, when we get the time. Yeah, so.
But we're kind of hoping one of the next ones we do will be an E3 special as well. Sort of
yeah, we
E3.
did the Nintendo Direct special, which went down a treat. So yeah, some E3 will be cool.
But anyway, I've been Dan.
I've been Al.
And we'll see you next time.
You take care of yourselves.
Bye.
Bye.